Scientology was invented by L. Ron Hubbard, a pulp, fantasy, and science fiction writer active from the 1930s to the 1950s, writing under his own name, as well as Kurt von Rocken, René Lafayette, Winchester Remington Colt, Lieutenant Jonathan Daly, Legionnaire 148, Ken Martin, Scott Morgan, Lieutenant Scott Morgan, Barry Randolph, Bernard Hubbard, Michael Keith, and Captain Humbert Reynolds, beginning with the classic of Western literature, Ta. The roots of Scientology can be traced back to the book Dianetics, written by Hubbard in 1950, the aim of which was to achieve a state Hubbard termed clear, the first of which Hubbard claimed to have cleared himself while posing incognito as a Hollywood Swami in the 1940s. Hubbard claimed that clears have complete memories of everything, can learn foreign languages instantly, and think clearly in any circumstance due to have been cleared of a pseudoscientific part of the mind he coined as the reactive mind. Hubbard himself was fluent in English, demonstrating his theories conclusively. Dianetics was a financial success for Hubbard, claiming it to be a kind of psychotherapy, but its rejection by psychologists and psychiatrists as pseudoscience caused him to have a lifetime animus toward any other psychotherapy other than his own. Dianetics was Hubbard's most successful work of fiction to date, and did well initially, but like most crazes, it lasted but a short time when sales collapsed, and Hubbard's Dianetics Foundation ran into debt, and rights to the book were lost to Hubbard. After this, and after being sued by the New Jersey State Board of Medical Examiners in 1951 for practicing medicine without being licensed and therefore not able to charge money, Hubbard created a new science he called Scientology in 1952. Remarkably, Scientology as a science was heretofore unknown to general science as a whole, any other scientist, or to the scientific method anywhere in the world. Hubbard therefore officially created Scientology in 1953. Whereas through Dianetics, a superstate of clear was the aim, in Scientology, a kind of superhuman race was to be created by achieving what Scientologists call an operating thetan, through a long and expensive process Scientologists call auditing, whereby body thetans are removed. Body thetans originated during Incident 2, when the extraterrestrial overlord Xenu, despotic ruler of an enormous galactic confederacy, gathered billions of extraterrestrials under pretense of income tax inspection 4 quadrillion years ago, and brought them to Earth, which was a place they called Tigiak, and which only formed 4 billion years ago, in spacecraft that looked exactly like DC-8s, except without fans or propellers since they flew in outer space, who wore clothing exactly like ours, and had trains, cars, and buses exactly like ours, only circa 1950, stacked them up around volcanoes, and blew them up with hydrogen bombs. According to Scientologists, the vaporized particles of the extraterrestrials were then vacuumed up and forced to watch a misleading 3D movie for over a month, which implanted the misleading data into their vaporized minds, which they no longer had, being that their brains and therefore their minds had been vaporized by H-bombs, in what is known in Scientology lore as the R6 implant, who then entered the bodies of the few extraterrestrials who survived the hydrogen bombs and from whom modern humans evolved. Thereafter, all human beings were infected with these body thetans. Only through the long and expensive process of auditing can these thetans be removed. Belief in Xenu is a requirement for Scientologists to progress along the bridge of total freedom, or the bridge, as it is known in Scientology. To detect thetans and the need to be audited, Scientology auditors use a device they call an e-meter, which measures skin conductivity. In accordance with a federal court order gained through litigation, the Church of Scientology must publish a disclaimer about the e-meter, stating, "The Hubbard electrometer is a religious artifact. By itself, this meter does nothing. It is for religious use by students and ministers of the church in confessionals and pastoral counseling only." To Scientologists, the universe is a fabricated illusion made possible by the agreement by all Thetans. Therefore, an operating Thetan can, with their newly minted godlike powers, alter the universe at will. Scientologists believe in the disconnection between a Scientologist and anyone deemed antagonistic to Scientology, also known as a suppressive person or an SP. This may be your family, friends, anyone who they believe is a suppressive person or antagonistic to Scientology. Anyone interested in achieving the ultimate in spiritual enlightenment would commit to going through all courses offered by Scientology through to the bridge. Estimates of the price to cross the bridge run between $500,000 to $700,000, with prices increasing at higher OT levels until operating Thetan 8, where the highest secrets of Hubbard's teachings are revealed.